Well, good morning, boys and girls. This is the Monday, March 23rd, and so we're stepping into the fourth week of the camper build, and probably it's maybe the fifth day. We've been working like 2 days a week. Just a little bit about what's going on so far. As we look at what we've been doing, so far we've just been working on what I call the tub, and the tub is everything that fits into the bed, and up to the top of the bed. So from there down, that's the tub. This is the part of the camper that you don't see when it's in the truck. Here again, these are the holes we cut last week for the cargo bins that you see right there. So yeah, hopefully today we'll finish the tub, and once the tub is finished, that'll be the last time that the camper is in the truck until it's done, because I can't build it any higher on the truck and get it out through the garage door on these wheels right here. Put it on these wheels, and at that point we'll build from the top of the tub up high enough that it can get out through the garage door. I woke up in the middle of the night last night, and I was thinking about something, and I was thinking about the truck, and I was thinking about the camper, and I was thinking about how these jacks are going to fit on the side, and we'll use these to jack the camper up and down. But when they're on there, they need to clear the side of the truck and be able to drive in underneath it and pull ahead. So last night I had this, I'm imagining this again, and we've already got the tub built, and I'm imagining how they're gonna fit on here, and they're gonna clear here, but I'm thinking, there's this bulge right here. I got up this morning, I came out here and I did a mock-up of what it would look like, and I put a jack on the side of the tub right there. And it's pretty close to its final position. And then over here I got another jack on the side of the tub. And then I measured between the two posts, between the part that slides out, it goes up and down, that lifts the camper up and down, and that one over there. And it comes out to 75 inches. So when the guys get here, we're going to do a mock-up and see where the camper is 6 feet wide and it hangs out over the side of the bed, about 6 inches. And so once those are bolted on, I got clearance here. I thought that through, but I didn't think about the bulge. So we're going to do a mock-up and see how, see what the distance is between that point right there and the same point right there, how wide that is, and if we have enough room to get in underneath when the camper's on its jack posts. And if not, I've got some ideas of how to remedy that. But that'll be the first thing that we do when the guys get here. When Mark and Ron get here, we're going to do a mock-up. All right. See you then. Bye. All right. Mark and Ron are here. I explained to them everything that I explained to you guys in the video earlier about what we're going to do. So we're going to do a mock-up to see.
Stand up straight.
Oh, welcome to another episode of Miles Adventures, the Quest for Alaska. But yeah, we're going to do a mock-up, and so what we're going to do is you're going to take a piece of foam board.
Oh, thanks.
And a level.
You're going to put it on here?
Go to that wheel well over there. You're going to take a piece of foam board. Your level.
Oh, I don't want to go this way.
So the mock-up is to see exactly how wide the truck is, to see if we have clearance to be able to pull in underneath the jacks. 75 and
75 and a half of a line.
75 and 3/30 seconds.
Okay.
So it's exactly wide enough to clear.
How
No, it
how
won't
big
be
is your
rubbing.
driving?
Anyway, so right now it's exactly the right width to get in underneath, but we're gonna fix that. And so, like I said, I'm working on it in here every day, whether I want to or not. Everybody got one of these? All right, so here we go. We're loading up the 9th tube of liquid nail. Tube number 9 out of 24. We're gonna use them all. And we've got this curb, the first curb piece ready to go on right here. It's right there. And we're gonna liquid nail that up, and then we're gonna put her down, and we'll get back to you.
Perfect. I need another screw. That ain't going nowhere.
Well, boys and girls, fellers and fellerettes, it's April 6th. Should be, I think it's day number 6 for working on the camper. Yeah, day number 6, April 6th. Actually, I think today's the day that the Artemis astronauts are going to be cruising past the moon and get a free trajectory ride back home. As you see here, we got the heater going today. It was a little chilly in here this morning. I think it was about 40 degrees. Now it's up to 60. So yeah, getting a little warm in here for whenever the guys come. When Mark and Ron get here. We took about a week off for Easter, so the guys have been gone for a couple of days. We've been working on this project Mondays and Fridays, typically. Today is Monday, and so we'll be back on the project today. Yeah, we're going to flop it down onto these carts, and it'll be on the floor on the carts for the rest of its life until it goes out the door and goes onto the back of the truck. We're going to flop this thing down on these carts this morning. And after those guys left the other day, I added an extension onto the curb right here. And you'll see that, I think you remember from episode 2, you'll see where this ended up being too narrow right here. It was too narrow to bolt the legs onto here, the lifting legs, to actually clear the wheel well on the truck. So we put these extensions on. And of course, these are the cargo bins. That was Mark Lightham's idea for the cargo bins. They'll drop down into these holes here, and it'll, for storage capacity or whatever, and it'll also gain access to be able to hook into a turnbuckle here to hold this down on the front edge. Yeah, it would go from here down to the floor of the floor of the pickup. We're going to actually start building the camper. Everything so far has been foundation, trying to make a strong foundation. Probably half, maybe a little over half the weight of the camper is going to be what you see right there. Hopefully what comes above is it ends up being lighter, but we're shooting for about 800 pounds. That's my guess, 800 pounds when this thing is done, dry weight. So we're just waiting for Mark and Ron to get here, and then we'll we're going to rip some 2x4s into 2x2s and do some mock-ups to make sure this thing's going to get out through the doorway when it's done. It has to clear the door on these wheels to get outside to be able to put on the back of the truck. So if we build it too tall, we're not getting it out of here. So yeah, that's the plan. Welcome, boys and girls, fellers and fellerettes, to another action-packed episode of Miles Adventures, The Quest for Alaska. Still waiting for the guys to get here. 10 after 8, supposed to be here at 8:30. Ron will probably be here early. Mark might be here on time. Mark might be here late. You know, when Mark gets here, he's always on time. He's like Gandalf. When Mark shows up, he's precisely on time. He's never late. He's never early. He's precisely on time. That's the mock-up of the camper floor, how thick it is. It'll be sitting on top of the wheels, and then we'll see how much room we have to play with to get out through the doorway over here. And then we also have the roof vent. That's going to stick up through the roof. That's going to make it higher. We won't be able to put the roof vent on until we get it outside, but we're going to have to figure out what to make the curb out of and how high to make the curb. Yeah, if you see over here, you'll see I did a little bit of experimenting right there. It's how high the tin is, the 2x2 that goes underneath the tin, the door frame, and this stick is as long as what the total height that we have to get out the door. From the bottom of that up to here, that clears the door opening by about 1/4 of an inch. So yeah, you'll see a couple things happening there as soon as them guys get here. Yeah, he's walking around like,
I gotta go straight back. Put that in further?
yeah, a little bit.
That was really slippery. I'd lose some control.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, this isn't called
No, but the original ones, they were fast and long.
Sometimes, you know, somebody else asked me, do you have a magic marker? I said, no, but I have a pencil that does card tricks.
I have a Sharpie, that's what everybody tells me.
And Brenda would say to that thing, so you got a pool, but you didn't like one.
Whenever we were watching Miles Adventure over at Steve's house last night, and Marshall and Joel said, "Look like you're doing all the work."
You?
Yeah. Where I was up on top, running the screws and running the tape measure, and you guys were just milling around on the ground.
Well, when I'm doing,
That ain't exactly true.
so who's filming me when I'm working? That's your job.
That's what they said.
I sent you a video.
Looks like you're doing all the work, and I said, "Well."
That's why you're hired. All right. Do we need a square or we need a level? Or both?
That 4 level?
Yeah, we don't know if it's sitting level one.
It all could be this cutout here on the bottom. We shouldn't have went over to that side. We could have had it over to this.
The thing that goes on top has to be 6 foot wide.
Oh! Oh, well, that'll be it.
Because it can't.
What was I doing? This way.
You're lining them up.
This way.
Yeah, that's sticking out here too.
Mark, you know what the difference is between you and a paid consultant?
Am I getting paid? Evelyn makes more than I do. Come on.
He's doing the pre-drill. And this guy's doing the final screw. And this guy's talking about it and doing the filming. All right, so we got this far. We got the door cut in back there. We got the window cut in up here. This will be the bunk height right here, from there up. And we got the sides kind of figured out, and those are kind of fastened in. And this is be the front of the bunk here that goes out over the cab. And this is kind of a mock up here, what we're looking at, with there'll be an arc, piece of plywood cut with an arc right here. That arc and the steel will come right around to there and go up at an angle and then go flat across the top. So this is like mock-up number 27 out of 473 mock-ups, but yeah.
Is this gonna fit? Perfect.
And then, like I said, that's a crawl through to get from the cab of the truck into there. If you strip down naked, you got enough butter on you.
Yeah. And we hope it doesn't come to that.
We hope it doesn't come to that, yeah. Anyway, so that's just a rough, real quick mock-up. We're gonna, I don't know, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. I don't think it needs to be any taller than that. What do you guys think?
Fine. Looks good to me.
It's good to you. So I guess what we'll do is we'll pick out the 2x4s that we want to use for sure, and we'll, I guess, if we lay one out, they both should be exactly the same, right?
Yeah.
And so we'll lay one out. If that's the one we're using that's there, we'll finish laying that out, and or maybe we'll get something different. I don't know. We'll figure that out, and then and that plywood there needs to be cut in half. We can draw the arcs on it. Yeah.